images. As you can see here, Biscuit and Misha, they are tagged. You can do one class at a time or do both classes at the same, depending upon how comfortable you are with context switching. So anyway, so now we have all the images tagged. So I go click on this home button, select the project that we just created, and here before I do anything else, you can actually visualize what kind of classes that you have created, and you can also of course specify some tags for annotation. Then the algorithm will return those tags, hopefully if you do it better. So the statistics, it says how many images, the information, like if you go to the statistics, go to the images, it actually tells you how many images are tagged for Biscuit, how many for Misha, and images that are not marked, images, total images in the data set and all that. So I don't have any image tags and all that. So that's pretty much, it will give you a glimpse in terms of, okay, so this is the data set now you have. Now you can correct any annotations that needs to be done. Now since we have the data, now we're going to we can apply some data transformation scripts to um, you know basically to create the train and test data set. So essentially, like out of 62 images, let's say you want to use 80% of those images for training and then the remaining for your validation during the training process. So you can specify that here. So you can, so that's what it is. So what we're going to do is, now if you don't do this step, if you don't create the training and test validation data set, it's going to error you saying that you are not marked the images for training. So you basically have to do this. So I'm going to take this and then put it into one of the files that I already have here. Mm, Okay, so this is the script for, or actually, I'll post this in my video in the GitHub. So uh, once you have to specify what is your source target here and when you're doing it. So essentially in this case, the project name that we have is dog detector. So you just have to specify that, and what is output, like once supervisory does the transformation, how does the new data, where do you want to, how do you want to mark the new data set as? So you can probably use the same name, and then I would call it as tagged, so that we know it's tagged for tagged and okay, I want to say train validation data set. Okay, so that's it pretty much, and then you just do this step. The task has started. So that's it. So you now have created a training and test data set, and you click on that particular data set, you can see, so this image is marked for validation. So I do the next image D. So this is marked for training. You can see the tagging, as you can see here, right? So this is all training image, training image, training image, training image, training image. So and the previous one that just went off was validation image. So basically, essentially, you just have now tagged the data set as train and test. Okay. So now this is the data set that you have. This is dog detector TV, train and validation. You can apply one more transformation on top of that, by doing augmentation, data augmentation that I was talking about. So essentially what this does is it does some resizing, some flipping and all that. So this is some code that I got from another tutorial that I went through, but you have to make some changes for what you want. So you can actually do this step. You should ideally be doing this step actually before you do the split for train and test so that you have augmented images and then do it. But we're not going to augment the images right now, so we just create the test and train validation set. And we are going to directly jump into training. Okay, so what we're going to do is now we have the data set, which is tagged as train and validation data set. Now we're going to use this to train a model and then see how it works. So all we do here is you click on this neural networks menu on the left side, click on add. So it will show the model zoo list of models that they have. So we're going to use YOLO version 3. So click on add and you give a name for this one saying dog detector YOLO. Okay, and which workspace you want it on, which team you want to share it with, and all that. So we just have to clone the model. So we are basically essentially cloning the YOLO model. Now we're going to train that by clicking on the train button there. And once you click on the train button here, you can specify what are the projects that you want to use. So in this case, I want to use the dog detector train validation data set. Um, and which model that you want to use, the YOLO model that we just created one step before. And then once it is done, what would be the name of this model? So that is called say dog underscore detector underscore say model. Okay, that's it. And there is some code, there is some configuration for transform, like the learning rate, number of epochs, the training data set I'll change to 6 because when I trained with 12, and I also have seen it across some people, well, in the train with 12 we are getting out of memory error. So to solve this, 6 is used. So that's pretty much it is, and then you click on run. So what we're doing is we created a data set, and we classified into train and test, train and validation, and then now you're training the model by applying a pre-existing YOLO model. Okay, uh, or weights, in other words. Okay. So click the weights initialization type is transfer learning. So that's what it means. So all you're done is now, okay, so we didn't change the number of epochs. So yeah, but I would let this continue to see how the training is happening now. So you can actually observe, um, you can, okay, anyways. So you can monitor the progress by clicking on these buttons here. Uh, Typically, I would probably use, 35 to 50 epochs. That is better. So I'm going to retrain this. As you can see, with 12 epochs itself, the loss is coming to 0.5. So you have to really see 0.39. Not that good. You can get to this is only with 15 epochs. So what I'm going to do is I cannot retrain the same, or basically I don't know if I can do it. I can change this to 50, and that's pretty much it is. And change the configuration.